A Richardson police car riddled with bullets after a chase involving a robbery suspect. Investigators just released new details this midday. Thank you for being with us. I'm Kara Sewell. We brought this to you as breaking news on Daybreak, a case involving police departments in several cities. Our Chris Sadeghi live with what we know right now. Hi, Chris.
Hello, Kara. This is more than 8 hours after this all happened, and still a lot of police cars out here on the scene, a lot of evidence markers, a lot of things to look through on this scene. But police have released more information about this chase-turned shooting that involved 4 different local police departments. It started when Plano officers say they were investigating a robbery suspect, now identified as 34-year-old Ryan Druin, investigating at the request of the Colony Police Department where the alleged robbery happened. While doing so, a chase began, but Plano police lost sight of him when the chase entered Richardson. But Richardson officers say they spotted Druin and that he tried to flee, leading to the chase that came all the way here to North Dallas. During the chase, police say Druin fired shots at police before stopping the car here on Alpha Road. Surrounded by officers, Richardson police say he got out, ignored commands to drop the weapon, and fired more shots at officers before they fired back at him. Druin was arrested and taken to the hospital to be treated for a gunshot wound. He is expected to survive. No police officers were injured, but we could see bullet holes in the back of the suspect's black SUV and also in some of the Richardson police patrol cars. We spoke to a neighbor who lives across the street from where the chase ended, and he described the gunfire that woke him up in the middle of the night.
First couple gunshots, you'd be like, oh, is that what I'm hearing? And then you just constantly hear more and more and more. And you're just like, okay, this is going on. And so, you know, at that point, duck down and just pray for the best.
And you can see just the amount of evidence markers here in the street. I count more than 100 on the numbers there. This is something the Dallas Police Department will be investigating, although it was only Richardson officers who were involved in the shooting. We're still waiting for more information on the initial robbery in the Colony that led to this entire incident. Kara, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Well, happening today, Fort Worth police are expected to release body camera video from 2 deadly shootings this weekend. One happened Saturday when police say a suspect took off and led officers on a short chase. It ended outside a motel. Chief Eddie Garcia says the man pulled out a gun and officers shot him. And a few hours later, officers were called to an apartment on Renee Circle. When they arrived, they say a man was outside an apartment holding a knife to his own throat. And when he moved toward police, an officer shot him. Police are expected to speak about both incidents today at noon. Okay, let's talk about your midday commute. Traffic anchor Stacia Wilson with us right now to tell us about any issues, construction, what's going on?
So we had a pretty busy morning, and honestly, some of those issues are still going on.
Okay.
If you are heading out right now, problem downtown Dallas, right there at I-35 Eat Highline, you can see southbound traffic moving a little bit slower as a result of this collision. Showing you that location on our map, you can see that bright area of red right there. So this happened about 30 minutes ago, has not cleared, and it is, again, slowing traffic that's heading into downtown along I-35 East southbound as a result of that collision at Highline. So this happened right around 7 a.m. this morning. It was a truck that caught fire and it had shut down the 380 exit ramp if you were traveling north along 35 in Denton County. That is still closed as they continue to clear up that scene. Now we're heading on over to Central Expressway. This was happening yesterday in Richardson. Another day, another afternoon where we see 75 northbound at Campbell road work that will probably start to slow traffic. 1 or 2 in the afternoon is when you see that get busy. The good news is it usually wraps up around 3:30. Now we're looking at US 80 at Helms Trail. This is the exact same intersection where we've had a couple of serious accidents over the last couple of weeks, and it looks like they're doing some type of road work there. So hopefully they're trying to correct the situation, whatever potential dangers are there that are causing these accidents. All right, Kara, back to you.
Thank you, Stacia. Sentencing is underway for a father who admitted to giving his son the assault rifle used to carry out a mass shooting at a Georgia high school. The father now faces more than 100 years in prison, days after his son was sentenced to life in prison. Armando Garcia has more on what happened in court this morning.
The father who gifted the assault rifle used by his son to carry out a mass shooting at a high school in 2024 back in court today to be sentenced.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
In March, a jury finding Colin Gray guilty of 27 counts, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter, after his son Colt Gray killed 2 students and 2 teachers at Appalachia High School. The same judge who is sentencing Colin Gray sentenced Colt Gray just a few days ago to life in prison without parole after Colt pleaded guilty to more than 50 counts. During the father's trial, he told jurors he hoped giving the weapon to his son would help the two bond over hunting and target shooting.
He's a good kid. You know, he wasn't perfect, nor was I.
Prosecutors accusing the father of ignoring warning signs the son had an affinity for mass shooters, evidence showing the teenager kept a shrine dedicated to the shooter in the 2018 massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Families of the victims sharing emotional statements in court today.
The trauma the students and teachers faced by seeing my husband lay dead on the floor of the hallway because Colin could not be a responsible gun owner. He did not pull the trigger, but purchased and left a firearm accessible to a minor.
This case is part of a growing push to hold parents accountable for the actions of their children. Gray is now one of several parents convicted in connection to a school shooting. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
A live look right now at Wall Street as the Dow is up more than 300 points. This follows a dismal day yesterday when the Dow closed down more than 1,100 points. And health news, 4 new cases of measles have been reported from a county just north of Houston. So the total cases continues to climb in our country, with more this year than all of last year. And medical expert Dr. David Winter from Baylor Scott & White joins us now to explain his concerns for the spread. And Dr. Winter, let's talk about what do these new cases indicate to you?
Yeah, I think it's a real shame, Kara, because in the year 2000, measles was declared extinct in this country. Now, since then, vaccination rates have gone down, and in the year 2019, measles has come back, and we see every year it's come back more and more. This is a horrible disease. It's said to be the most contagious virus on the planet. If a child with measles walks to a room of unvaccinated children, 90% of those children will come down with measles, so highly contagious.
So what are the symptoms of measles?
Cough, fever, fatigue, runny nose, red eyes, these red spots on your face that then go the rest of your body. You can also get complications. It can get in your lung causing pneumonia. It can cause encephalitis, a brain disease. It can cause blindness, deafness. About 30% of kids who get this disease will have to have hospitalization for some complications. So it's a very serious illness, not only for kids, but also for adults who get it.
Yeah, that was my next question. Does it affect mostly children, and do the symptoms differ at all if you do get infected as an adult?
Yeah, the large majority of people are under age 20 who get this. Most of them are very, very young, but older adults can get it also if they've not been vaccinated. Now, the vaccines do work. If you had a vaccine, you're probably safe. If you're not sure if you had one, a blood test can be done to see if you have immunity, because the vaccine lasts for a lifetime.
And you mentioned the vaccines. Let's talk about any side effects. Obviously, you know there are concerns out there about the MMR since it doesn't just cover measles. We're talking about mumps and rubella. So can you address those concerns?
Yeah, a lot of studies have looked at this. And what they've done is they take kids who have not been vaccinated, who have some kind of disability, and then kids who are vaccinated with some disability, and look and see if there's any difference. There's no difference. There's no increase in disability or side effects from kids from the vaccine. So the vaccines are safe, also safe for adults. The vaccines work. If we got vaccination rates up again, we could get rid of measles like it was back in the year 2000.
Now, what do you think it would take to see people change their minds at this point, since you're saying that we're seeing more cases year after year, we're going in a different direction?
Yep. I just think we need to get the information out, because this has been studied. It's been very clear that the measles shot does not cause any serious side effects. So we need to get those studies out. I think more information, talk to your doctor. They all know about this, so that will help also. If you have any questions about this, talk to your physician. But yeah, we need to get the word out, because the vaccine is safe and measles doesn't have to exist in this country.
All right, Dr. Winter, good to see you. Thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you, Kara. Good to be with you.